First, we are covering a developing story this morning. 4 people are dead. Their bodies found in Minidoka and Cassia counties. 56-year-old Benjamin Naylor of Burley is now in custody, suspected of killing those people. And officers were called to a home in Rupert at around 3:30 Tuesday afternoon. They found a woman identified as Angelica Medina, dead with at least 1 gunshot wound there. Then a few hours later, officers responded to a home in Burley after getting reports that 2 people were shot there. When officers got there, they found a 66-year-old man dead in the living room and a 62-year-old woman dead in a closet in the back of that house. Officers have also found a 4th victim in all this, identified as Dennis Mix, dead at the Hub Plaza gas station in Hayburn. All 4 victims shot and killed. Video from the crime scenes helped officers track down Naylor. He's been charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder, ordered to be held in jail without bond. Our Aspen Shumpert is in Burley with reactions from the neighbors there.
I'm standing on the same street where 2 victims of this quadruple homicide were found dead in their Burley home Tuesday. Now, this was a retired couple who were living in this home for at least 30 years, if not more. We spoke to their neighbors as well as family members who are shocked by this case and say it's left an unsettling feeling in this community.
There's always kids out playing in the neighborhood. We've always got people walking their dogs, riding their bikes.
A Burley neighborhood that Michaela Quintana grew up in and is now raising her kids in.
This has just always been home for me, and it's a nice neighborhood.
A community she always considered safe. But Tuesday evening, she says that sense of security was lost when the street flooded with law enforcement at about 6 p.m.
There were cops running down the street with guns. That part of the neighborhood was surrounded by police. There were cops down at the end of this side of the street, and it was pretty crazy just having all the cops.
At first, they weren't sure why police were there.
I just saw cops and guns, and immediately I went into a panic and went inside my house to get my kids put away somewhere safe.
Soon after, they learned their neighbors down the street, Donna and Kelly Jenks, were found dead in their home.
They came over and let us know that it was a murder that had happened, and then it was just all pretty unsettling. And that's not something you would expect to happen here.
Police arrested and charged Ben Naylor, the man accused of killing Kelly and Donna, but also 2 other victims in Cassia and Minidoka County. Police say all 4 bodies were found at different times on Tuesday. Quintana says she didn't learn about the total number of victims until Wednesday afternoon.
It kind of makes you realize that anything can happen in the blink of an eye. You're not always promised to live another day. You're not always promised even the next hour.
Quintana describes the Jenkses as model neighbors.
They were quiet. I mean, they stayed to themselves.
But for Ann Harper, the Jenkses were not only her neighbors across the street, but they became her family.
My youngest son married their only daughter. Her parents just adored that grandbaby that we share.
Harper says the Jenkses were big on family, but also took care of the neighborhood.
We became very good friends with them, and she's an avid gardener and constantly bringing over vegetables and tomatoes and cucumbers and corn and everything in the summer. And he was a fisherman and loved to bring us trout that he's filleted.
Losing them, she says, will leave a lasting impact.
It's just going to leave a void. I mean, anytime you lose a family member, there's a void, and this leaves the void in the neighborhood.
The family members of these 2 victims have created a GoFundMe to help with the expenses that come with the funeral as well as a memorial service, but they're also asking for the community's prayers and support during this time. When we were here Wednesday afternoon, officers as well as forensic teams were going in and out of the home. By the time 9 p.m. came around, they did release this home back to the family members. Reporting in Burley, I'm Aspen Shumpert, Idaho's News Channel 7.
And we're hoping to learn a lot more about how these murders are connected, if at all. We'll keep you posted right here on Channel 7.